Look at that. We finally are using the buffer storage for our helium-3. Oh, yeah. Very good. So I would say that we have like endgame production stuff like fairly in the bag now set up. Ooh, hey, we're wasting science points finally. Okay, so we've used all the engineering science possible here. I gotta add something here. I could do the blockchain data center. That's endgame too, I suppose. It's gonna use a lot of energy. I definitely want to get fusion power by that point. This is an AI research center. It probably uses, yeah, a lot of power and stuff. So to get into this stuff, we are going to want to have expanded power options. So I think probably what I could do, we'll go down to fundamental and get into fusion reactors, I think at some point here. So why don't we take the probe points away for now, bring in the, this doesn't have any engineering. Yeah, I don't need any red, orange science for that. I need orange science. I could do the rail upgrade if I want another base. I guess I could just upgrade my drones. Yeah, cargo drone speed upgrade. I mean, we could just do that, I guess. 26 days until this is done. Can I get a whole bunch more science? Yeah, there we go. Let's hyper accelerate everything except orange so I can get that other stuff done. We don't need to accelerate orange just yet. And we'll start looking at hopefully getting this done a lot faster. 16 days until this is completed. I mean, this isn't urgent right now, so I guess I'll just take that out. We'll go for the cafeteria, and I think probably we don't even need the helium-3 harvester upgrade anymore. Yeah, like we have it, but we don't need it. Why don't we go ahead and get that fuel generator going? Because I want to work towards fusion reactors, and then I want to look at that like that blockchain thing. So we're gonna go pump this up to, let's say, above the storage, above this, and we'll start this as soon as the cafeteria is done. That seems fine to me too. Just under 6 million. Got quite a few modular frames I could sell, and like a lot of iron, or a lot of steel. So this is our buffer storage for steel here. It's about, this one's getting about, it's almost half full for this buffer, but all of this is full ish. Okay, so not all completely full. In other words, I've got 17,000 steel, and I need to do something with that. So maybe we start working on getting rid of that too. Who wants a lot of steel and not a lot else? That's okay. 7 days is a bit tight, if I'm being honest, but we can make it happen. Let's just open this up. Open both of these up. Let that flow for a little bit. Let it occupy all of our belts for a little bit. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and trigger this one to get rid of 4. We could definitely do it by 31 days. Yeah. It's not that much difference in reward too. I care less about the reward and more about not having my storages full. So, oh, that's all? Yeah. 55. Yeah, we did it. Okay. So all of that's going to go now. And we're just going to unlock this one and this one. Let it all flow out, please. Okay. Lots and lots of steel going out. And just trying to get rid of some of that buffer storage we have. Because we have this much, we have a buffer here. I can afford to add more. So I think I will. We're going to go like this. Oh, I can't build there. Right. I have to go all the way over here, and there's no grid. Right, there's no way to pass this over. So I have no means of building another one. Wow, that's as far over as I can go. Okay. Well, I guess that sucks. But, I mean, I could always do it somewhere else. This is just one place. I could do it somewhere else. Let's see. So, aluminum, carbon fiber, and the rare earths. If I do it over near rare earths, I'd have to find a way to get the aluminum over here reliably. Because I have all this space to build in. All of this space is available. So, we could do that. We could also go to underground too, right? There's ways to do this. But it's about sourcing the resources. You see, above ground, the reason why I've been building above ground more than underground lately is because I've worked this whole system to where every resource we have ends up right here. So if I want to build anything new, I just, you know, tap into the existing resource that's already routed there. I don't have to do any logistics to move it around. But over here, we can definitely get the rare earths moving over here, but everything else would be a little bit more difficult. I'd have to like bring it off of this maybe and bring it around, but then underground and then just, so it's a little bit more challenging to bring it out of here. There's 2 input belts, 1 output belt here. This is technically every resource is coming out of this too. This is how it gets up here initially anyway. At least some of the resources get up there anyway. This is our primary out right now. And I could have this out go away and have this maybe route different resources around. Maybe bring another belt from here around to get it over into this area. But it's just more complicated, right? So let's say I want aluminum and carbon fiber to come out of here. But carbon fiber is coming out of this. Right? Yeah, no. Carbon fiber comes out of that. So carbon fiber is coming out right here. Interesting. Now I could tap into this. This is one way to do it. If I can get aluminum into here, which is another challenge in and of itself, really. There's a lot of aluminum over here, but it's... Oh, I need aluminum to go up top. What am I doing? Yeah, this is full. Release the aluminum. Yes, and then have this be prioritized in that direction for a while. And then I think maybe we go higher with you. Yep. Higher with you. Yep. At least that far with higher belts to move it along. Yeah, actually this goes underneath, doesn't it? Yeah, so we want to go tier 3 here, here, and here. There we go. And then here as well to there. And now we can have it divided that way. Nope, not that way. Shoot, that's the wrong one. Well, I didn't need to delete it, but I guess I'm glad I did. We'll go tier 3 underneath. There we go. And then we'll have this be tier 2 and this be tier 2. There we go. Okay, by then it should be flattened out. Now we're making a lot more fuel, which we weren't making a whole lot of before because the aluminum wasn't coming this way, and now it is. Because I closed this for a while since I had an abundance of aluminum before, so now I don't have to necessarily close this anymore. And actually, now that if I take a look at my trade possibilities, yeah, we have to trade aluminum at some point here too. So why don't we shut that again? Shut it again. Oh, take a look at these too. These are done. Huh? Don't they look cool? I think they look neat. Yeah, I mean, they don't really do much, but they look neat. The outside of our power facilities. I mean, if we just had like like, think of it this way, right? If you're really crunched on space, you could theoretically remove all of these and just flood this whole area with these, and you'd never need batteries. You know, you just don't need batteries anymore, so they could take up space. But like the batteries are so much better. 250 units of power on max charge, as opposed to just the 16 perpetual. I don't know. Maybe they're not better. Maybe if I just flooded the whole place with these, it would give me the thousands of power I require all the time. There'd be no advantage to daytime or nighttime, which is weird. I don't know. Maybe it's not weird. Right now I've got 6 days, 18 hours, and we currently have 6.5 days. So I do need to turn these on, at least a little bit. Let's turn these on. We'll consume a little bit of fuel. We're making more fuel now, so we'll go ahead and consume more fuel. And that should extend our energy time enough to get us to the daytime. Yep. Okay. There we go. Just for a little while anyway. Behemoth, what are you doing? You're supposed to be supposed to be getting stuff from the base. What are you doing here, Behemoth? There's 204 set route. Oh, you know what Behemoth is doing? I think they're waiting. I think Behemoth was waiting for the food. Yeah, because he can't get the food because you need an expedition center for that. Let's check in really quick and make sure they're not starving. There's 248 left. They're fine. They're getting 97 helium-3 a week over there, though. That's pretty good. Can I sell helium-3? Is there anyone that wants it straight up? No. Sadly, it doesn't appear as though anyone wants it. You want this, though. I'm in. Let's do it. You want some of that stuff? I'll give you that stuff. Here you go. Shut off the iron for a little bit. Steel, whatever. We'll shut that off for a little bit. Because, well, I guess I can't really sell it yet because I got all those other ships in the way. So I guess we'll pause that development for the time being. All right, so let it play on just a little bit longer. The building is coming along nicely. It's, yeah, I don't know, a little 60% or so done. So we'll expand carbon fiber then. Also decided these things look pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a whole bunch of them over here. Since I can't really fit anything else over here, it won't let me build here. But there's just enough space in my build zone to lay a row of these in instead. So we're just going to put more RTGs in just because they look cool. And that'll set us up for fusion power in a little bit. And then once we get the fusion power, then we'll start, I don't know, mining Bitcoin on the moon, I guess. So we got 9.9 days left in the helium-3 upgrades. And then I'm just trying to find things that I can spend engineering science on right now. It's surprisingly difficult to find something to spend it on right now. Up here, we're just going to go ahead and accelerate everything except engineering science. And then once we get to the point where we're doing the Bitcoin stuff, then we can go ahead and do that then. I think I can close these now. I was doing a fuel contract, which I believe is done with this thing, which a drone has reserved it. Go figure. So we'll go ahead and close that. Drone's already reserved it, so I don't have to worry about it. There it goes. We're up to basically 8 million credits, and this will tip us to 8.5 million at that point. So we're getting close to that 10 million in the bank mark, which is, like I said before, it's a Steam achievement if you want to get there. Just have 10 million in your bank account. What else we're going to try to do here? Can we get rid of any more rare earths? Can we? Nothing. No. Can we get rid of some of our... I'm spending the modular terminals right now. How about aluminum? I got a lot of aluminum right now. Let's go... what do you think? Construction boom here? Yeah, that's good. 3,000 of it. I think it pretty much takes care of a whole lot of it. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll get rid of a lot of our aluminum now. Bop. There we go. And we're starting to fill up on concrete a little bit, but I just got rid of like 9,000 concrete. So there we go. Up there. So 8.52 million credits. And it's a waiting game right now. That's why there's a lot of cutting. There's a lot of time passing between the cuts and stuff. Just it's a little bit of a waiting game right now as I try to get the laser done. If I had more of these, it would be less so, you know. And I am regretting that. I think I'm kind of tempted to take these out, even though they're fully upgraded. Take this whole system out of here, maybe shift it over somewhere else. We can route the slag somewhere else over here. Take this out of here. Maybe remove these belts and reroute them so they're a little tighter to this area. Maybe even take this out of here too and reroute that somewhere else as well. I'm just tempted to do all those things to get another expedition center right here. The only other thing I could do there is to place it. I could place it over here, which it totally fits. I can actually flip it like this would make more sense, wouldn't it? Yeah. So I could kind of flip it here, but it really does need to be closer, like kind of down in this area. So I'd have to move the tech center too. The tech center really doesn't have to be anywhere specific. It doesn't even take any inputs. So I probably could just, can I build 2 of them? You just have to have one in order to do lots of different research. So yeah, I can maybe nestle this over here instead. Kind of doesn't matter really. So we can just pop it right there. That's okay. Suppose another formula we could do to try and help with getting rid of the iron would be in the manufacturer, the formula that makes modular frames would be kind of interesting. We could take all the excess rare earths that we have there too, kind of just all the resources, but also it uses slag as well. And so I'm kind of thinking maybe we set that up over here if it lets me, but there's a little bit of a hill here, so I don't think it'll let me build over here. there's a little bit of room here. There might be enough room for, let me see, just, it's this one here. Might be enough room for this. Yeah, kinda. It's pretty tight. I mean, I could do it this way too. I guess one here and then over. I have like back to back sort of thing. I could do that. And that would just allow us to make some modular frames over here, and then they could go on this belt, and that would get them into the system, right? So if we send them over here, the rare earths coming out of here would be provided for it. And then the iron, I can reroute it. And so instead of it being exclusively this direction, I could then take it off this belt, go underneath, and pop it out here. So there's a way to get that stuff over here. Aluminum would be a little more challenging, but it's really just redirecting the supply that's already coming out of here. There's not a lot coming out of here, though, is the problem. I don't have a lot coming out. It's primarily because of the iron, like, stopping it, and it's halting production. So let's see about doing that. I know it's like all these things are very much afterthoughts. They're not like super organized or anything, but let's just see about doing that. So I'm going to put this, let's say right here. I need to leave enough room for the iron to get underneath. So I'll leave enough room by going about, let's say here. 1, 2. I was really hoping for a third, but it just doesn't let me do that. Yeah, that's the line right there that these guys are in. So even just one more spot over won't work. Okay, so there's going to be 2 machines here, and then we just need to figure out where the belts are going to come in and how things are going to get separated to bring the stuff over. Rare earths is the easiest one, of course. We can just pull it off of this one. So if I was going to do rare earths in this direction, I would probably pull it out about this far and go this way with it. That seems pretty reasonable. Right along the side of the machines too, which is nice. So I would say I would want probably this one can hop the furthest since it's coming from, you know, pretty close by. So we'd say that the iron is going to come in from this side. So I'm going to say this is the iron belt. The iron will go. The thing is, if it's closest to this machine, it's furthest to the others, right? So like that's how this. There's 4 inputs here, so you got to kind of do that, but that's how it's going to be. So we're going to go this way with the iron. Not sure where it stops, so we'll just hold off there. We're also going to want it to keep going, I guess. We're just going to split that supply to go this direction. So this is where the iron comes in. The rare earths, I think maybe we'll have that be I need a place for the aluminum to come in too, don't I? It'll probably be in here somewhere. So let's say the aluminum comes in like here. This will be our aluminum belt, which definitely does not need to be. Is this all this tier? Oh my gosh, all this is tier 5. Hang on. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, I have to play around with the belts a little bit here to figure out how these things are going to go in. I guess the alternative is to bring it all the way over here. There's a lot more room over here. Because 2 machines I don't think is enough. I think there's a lot more room over here. We could do it here instead. Production. Like I got loads of room over here to work with. So and then the iron could go this way. Yeah, we could route it the other direction, and all the aluminum coming off of this can go this way. The big thing is the slag at this point. There's actually a lot of it here, 45,000 of it in storage here, and once this fills up, then it'll start filling up here instead, because all of this routes to this one and then over, and then it gets filtered into the system. But I could redirect these belts to go that way instead. I could even just pull off of this one and just have only the slag from this feed the system. So there's definitely something I can do here that will make sense. Let's do them over here. So we have lots of room, and you know, there's even aluminum off of this belt. We could even take the excess iron directly from here because it's already routing. So that's pretty convenient. Let's do that. So let's say we have. How do I want to jam pack this in here? Do I want to go this direction? It just needs to be able to output onto the rest of the belt for everything. So I guess like I can't put duralumin plate. This is the duralumin plate belt. Duralumin plate is not routed to the rest of the system. It's routed into here, and it goes down. So I can't place the modular frames on this belt to let it to get it into storage. So it's got to be a different belt. We could put it right here, but this belt leads directly, no, it doesn't. It leads to here, which allows it to go all the way around the system, which is not ideal, but we're not going to be making them fast enough for that to matter. So we could just have it get into the rest of it, because as long as it gets to here, it will go around and wind up right into this system anyway. So that's actually not a big deal. Let's plan to place the modular frames onto here, which I got my RTGs in the way now, don't I? Can I move these RTGs just one row? I want to move them down just one row. I know, loud noises. I think I have enough room to do that. We're gonna say we're gonna put this direction like that, and it'll just connect here. All right, and then from there we're gonna go power RTGs. Yeah, I can't. So I used to be able to put one here, and now I can't. I have to go one row over, but that's okay. Yeah. I like how I can kind of dig into the soil there too. It doesn't even care. Oh, but now now I can't do this. Well, is it a big deal? Oh, you know what? Oh, I got it. I know exactly what we're gonna do. Oh, this will make way more sense. Actually, it wasn't there before, so I lied. All right, but this can.
Can't build here.
No, I can totally build there. You don't do this. Don't do this. There we go. I totally did this before. I know I did. Yeah, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got even more than last time. Cool. And it kind of lines right up with the edge of that machine. So that's going to be a win. What we'll do is we'll just slap it on here. Okay. So this will slap in here. Modular frames will go through here, but then I'll split it like this. And we'll just say that only modular frames go this way. And only duralumin plate goes that way. Easy. Now I don't have to worry about it anymore. What are you doing, little plate? There you go. Yeah, time to move. I've noticed that the game, also, if you're playing this late game like I am, I've noticed that you actually, like, game clock wise, it's still faster with your own personal time, but game clock wise, resources actually move slower on the belts if you go fast speed. I know it seems weird, but like you can see how this is all, like if I go 1 speed, this is all fully saturated, right? But if I speed it up, there's gaps now in like little bits of it, and like the gaps get worse. So like this right here, for example, right? Let's say I go and I unblock this exit for aluminum. This is all, you know, nice. It's very good. But if I go fast speed, watch what happens. There's distinct gaps in this now.
Package delivered. Like
that is half the speed, less than half maybe, right? If I go full, just real-time speed, this is always a full belt. There's never any hiccup in here. But if I go fast speed, you get actual less. And when I slow it down, those gaps exist. Now, whether that's, I don't think that's actually just graphical. I think that's real because again, I don't think it's going to continue through here like it should. There's gaps in that now, right? So just like little things like that are a little bit weird, and maybe they'll patch that up in the future. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to show you that. We are very close. Actually done now. Yes, Expedition Center is empty. It is done. There it is. Nope, that's Foothold. I don't know where the other guy is. Maybe maybe it's right here. Yeah, there it is. 653 composites heading out. And that is the end of our composites journey, or what we need for composites anyway. So now we can just store them for trade later. We're going to be rich, and this whole infrastructure just stays. We're already rich, but just over 8 million. So Behemoth, it's time for you to go back to work here, I think. So let's bring you over here. There should be, oh yeah, 748 helium-3 just waiting for Behemoth. Let's come on over here. So we're going to say Outpost Charlie, deliver to the base. It's going to be Behemoth. We're going to do this, and we're going to do this. Okay, ready, set, go. Now what I want to see is how much food do you actually require. You're not even going to do the food first. Okay. You're going to wait on the food, and that's fine. So off you go. Go get a bunch of helium-3 and bring it back, and then we can start using it with the expedition center. Now, before we figure out what the next part of the laser is, I want to adjust some things. So tech center's done. It's over here now, just hanging out of the way. I can adjust this to where it's not in the way, and I can put another expedition center here is what I'm hoping to do. So let's really quick check and see where this can come out. It can come out way back here, which is, I think, preferable. Yeah, not this one, though. So this one's going to stay here. So I think we're going to go like this, these two right here. So if I get rid of you, right, then what we can do is we can go ahead and we want to have you be here. Oh, I have to redo this part too. That's fine. So from here to this is okay. I want it to be in line with the other one just for looks. All right, so from here to here. Yep. Build that. And then what I want from you, though, is I'm going to have you cut right away and get right down in here and move that way. And then you are going to do the same thing. Cut right away, move down like this. So we're just going to clean this up a little bit so I can put another one right here. And this whole belt system here is not in the way anymore. Okay. This doesn't have to go under anymore. But I think I'm going to leave it just to leave this area open. And then what I want to do is take the conveyors. We're just going to wrap it around like this, as close to this as we can go. Looks like that is as close as I can go. Yep. So right here and then over like that. And then you are going to come over like this. So it just gives me the maximum amount of space I could do here while still having these belts doing what they're doing. Okay, so we're just going to delete this and this. And then bring you underneath. Oh, you just deleted the no. Okay, it just you deleted all this too, though. I didn't want that deleted, but I guess we're gonna have it. All right, so from here to here, from here to here, and then this one goes straight down and into storage, and this one goes straight over into there. Okay. It's all been rerouted now, and I have this little bit here that needs to be connected, though. So let's just do that really quick. Oh, what the heck? I can't. There it goes. Ooh, okay, so I can't connect it if I zoom in, but if I zoom out, right there, and oh, there, oh, it is real. It's real touchy, but I got it. Yeah. Being real tight with it all. Make sure they're connected. They are indeed. Okay, so everything's going to work there just as it was before, but now I have enough room, hopefully, for another expedition center to come on over here. So what we're going to want to do is, I think I want the door on that side. Yeah, I want the door on that side. So we're going to have to bring this belt around a little bit. It's going to look disorganized, as many things I do usually do look disorganized, but we're gonna bring it about there, I guess. Yep. And then once it's built, we're gonna route these belts around, at least two of them. I think probably what I'll do is I'll switch to have this one come straight down, and these two will be over here instead. And then they're gonna wrap around into that side, and then this is the exit, and then it exits like that. So we're gonna have at least two expedition centers. The other way I could do it might be a little cleaner, actually, and I get 3 if it lets me do it, is I can come over here, which I want the door, again, on that side. Yeah, so we could put this maybe over here instead. Okay, and it just makes this path a lot longer, but it is what it is. We're getting this kind of to the area where we want to be able to be able to do other things, not just the laser. So I think I'm going to go about here with it. That's an in. All right, so another control center way out there, and then we're gonna have, and it's really far away from the bots too, which is not great, but it is what it is. Where is the door? It's on that side. Good. Okay, that's what I want. So I want this on that side, and then this one's gonna go right up against it, to that side. Yep. And then this control center will be here. And we're going to want this to be on that side. Yep. And it's going to go about, like, say, there. We're going to have to go even further away, aren't we? Yeah, I think so. It's going to be about here instead. And then this one would be lined up on this side. And I want it to go, I want it to be right here. But maybe I don't, because I want the belts to have more room. Yeah, I think that's the case. Okay, we need the belts to have more room. Let's plan on 3 on this side. We'll plan on 3 of them. So we're going to need to go over a bit more. Let's go ahead and break those down because we can. We're going to come over. Yeah, let's have it be... we'll go here with it instead. It's about that far over instead. Expedition Control Center. Right about like so. That seems... Maybe stagger them slightly just to give more room on the input belt. I think so. Just a little slight stagger would probably look better too. Okay, and then again, we want to come out about... I just want to make sure there's enough room here. Why isn't this allowing me to build here? What is it about this spot that says no?
You can't build here.
Yeah, I want to know why. I'm not being properly informed as to why this is not available to build. It seems like I could build anything I want here except that. Hang on, let's get another structure. How about a landing platform? Where's the problem area? Right here? Oh, is there something there? I don't see anything there. Maybe I gotta let the game run for a little bit so it doesn't register something here, but I don't think there was ever anything here. The belt was here, not there. So there's just some reason... There's some reason I can't build there.
You can't build
It's
here.
just like Ground of Aces. Can't explain it.
You can't build here.
Yeah, I know. Can't explain it. Okay, fine. Well, in that case, is there any way I could build? Yeah, let me build down here then. We can make it work down here. So right about there, it will let me for some reason. So we'll do that. And then on this side, we can now put this back to back over here. So we'll say right about here would be good. All right. So there's 4 additional expedition centers plopped in here, routed into the same system for storage. It'll go to here first, then route to these, and it will just zigzag through, and we'll be able to do 5 missions on the map at once when we're no longer concerned with the laser. Okay? So we're going to build those. They're obviously going to need power, and all that stuff needs to be routed, so we're going to push... Let's have it be from this one, I guess. We just want to make sure that wherever we put these, they're not in the way. Which this won't be in the way, so we'll connect it there. And then if I can connect them together, I cannot. Okay, well, I thought maybe I could, but I guess not. We're going to put a post on the other side here. Can I fit? Can I get the wire on there? No. Okay. And we're going to want to move that then. So let's figure out where these are going to be on the belts. The belts, which we'll upgrade later once we figure it out. So these are going to route around from here. They're going to go this way. Then they're going to come around this way. And they're going to end up probably somewhere around... probably about here is where they're going to end up. Yeah. So we're going to have this running... out here, and then it goes this direction into there. Yep. This belt will be there, routed around, and these will eventually be tier 5 into there. Okay, so there's 2 exit belts. We have 4. We've been using 4. We probably should continue to use 4, but as we've seen earlier, it doesn't really matter because you never use all 4 anyway. It's always just 1 and then like maybe a little bit extra on the other. So I think we can get away with 2 here. If there's 2 belts fully saturated, then fine, I'll put a 3rd in, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. we're going to use these 2 outs for that. And then this one will be on the final one over here. Okay. So if we do need another belt, it'll be on this side and it will run, I guess, into that port. So we should probably plan for that ahead of time. So let's pull this back. So that way I don't have to redo it later. Yeah. So we'll say that you go to here. There we go. And then you are, no. You go like this. Okay. Good. The outputs are going to be 2 anyway from this point. So there won't be any reason for 3. I just don't think there's going to be a reason, but whatever. We have 2 outputs here. So we're going to want this to go out to at least this far. And then over into here. There's no reason to use any of the other ones. There we go. And you are going to be right there. Yep. And then the output being here will then come out, let's say about that far over and into that input. And then over and into that input. Okay. Same thing over here. Bring it out about, let's say that far. Bring it over. Pop it into there. Then you are going to come out all the way over into there. So it all gets zigzagged in with each other. And then in the final output here, we're going to route this over to where it ends up into this one. So this one's going to go from being the only expedition center to being the last expedition center, the one that's used in last. And to be honest, we could probably even take it out and open this up for additional production of something, process something. Maybe that whole manufacturer thing over here could now fit here after all. And we just have 4 expedition centers way out there. We could do that. But I like where this is, and it's already kind of hooked into these export belts right here. But if I did decide to delete this, then the export belt is already lined up and ready to rock right there. So we just delete this and then pop it in there. Maybe I'll end up doing that in the end. It might be the better call. Then there's just more room for production right here or additional processing. Because I do have, 354,000 regolith just in the internal storage of this cargo bay. I have no idea what the cargo limits. I think it just says 358 instead of 358K. But, I mean, I don't know what the limitations of storage here are, but I feel like 354,000 is enormous. Considering this right here holds only 20K. I feel like maybe we've extended storage to be underground at some point here with that thing. Speaking of which, I suppose if it will let me, you guys said I can use 2 of these things, so let's put it to the test. We'll see. I'll put one right here, and this will connect. Put one right there. Maybe even a third. Yeah, why not? We'll put a third here too. Like that. So we'll put 2 more like that over here where they're waiting, right? That's a good place to put them, I think. Have you come right over like this. Here we go. And then just weasel your way in close to this one here. Let's go like there. Yep. And then can you be, yeah, right there. That's good. All right. So you can connect and you can connect. All right, and then we just need to have the belts route. The regolith out will go to here. Pop, just like that. And then the regolith here will connect there, of course. And then we'll have this one come over and we will connect it to storage here, I think is probably what will happen. We'll have the storage go in like this. And of course, this will be only that resource, yes. So it'll cross through there. And then everything else will get kicked out and it's all connected. Okay. So there's the expansion to the outside of the base in anticipation for the laser being completed. But we don't know what the next stage of the laser is. So if you want to learn what that is, you can come back for the next video because, we got less than 600 days remaining until this catastrophe. I don't know what the next stage is, but I mean, Okay. Do you want 200 CPU control units? I've almost got that. Do you want helium-3 delivered? Cool. I mean, I don't know how much you want, but I got a good supply of it now. You've already asked for an enormous amount of composites. Can't imagine you want more of those. Same thing with modular frames. Delivered a ton of that. Delivered a ton of carbon fiber already. You want more concrete? I got a lot, right? Like, I think we're pretty good on every resource except maybe energy cells. I think that's the one thing that I haven't made yet is energy cells. And if we take a look at the market, I cannot buy them. Ooh, that might be it. It might be energy cells. So the next video, we're going to need to take a look at production of energy cells, which requires the helium-3 nanotubes and duralumin plate. I mean, those three resources, it sounds an awful lot like we're going to be making that right here. Because I got the duralumin plate, got the helium-3 just pushing through, and we can easily get the nanotubes over here. So I think that's probably the next thing we do is make the energy cells. There is another recipe to make energy cells here that uses a lot of my iron, which I already have a ton of, more of my rare earth elements, which I have been looking for a reason to use. So we could also use these. It just requires that extra resource of titanium plate, which I am making in abundance now, I think. I just did a contract that got rid of 800 of it. So, but I think I'm making that pretty well now. We can look at it. Maybe do both. You know, it's possible. We'll see what the next thing wants, and then we'll go from there, okay? Take it easy, guys. Love your faces. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.